We know the importance of reading a good book, and our next guest, they know about this even more than we do because they stress this at a young age. We have the fantastic folks joining us from the Early Learning Partnerships, the Early Learning Partnership of York County. We have the Executive Director, Rachel Hui-Hubbard, and the Board President, Lisa Ann Williams. And good morning to you both.
Good morning.
Welcome.
Thank you.
We love the Early Learning Partnership, and I understand we're celebrating our 25th anniversary, Rachel.
We are.
Oh, my goodness. Well, take us back 25 years. I know you've only been in your job for 10 months.
Yes.
But let's lay the foundation for our listeners and viewers at home about how the Early Learning Partnership came about.
Well, I wish I had Sylvia Eccles here because she's the former wife of Mayor Doug Eccles. She was one of the people who started it. It was a grassroots effort that started off as a initiative from the United Way 25 years ago, just to stress to the community the importance of reading to your child in the early years. And it has since grown to encompass, it just started really a local thing. It's grown to encompass all of York County. We've taken on several programs, our most popular being the Reach Out and Read program, which is a national evidence-based program that is delivered through the pediatric practices to encourage parents of children to read books and engage with their child.
And then, Rachel, again, you've been in this job for 10 months. I know we are very familiar with Teresa Creech,
Yes.
who also laid the great foundation.
Yes.
What attracted you to this job? I mean, what is your background?
Actually, my background is in engineering and computer science, so it's a complete about 180-degree change. I've always wanted to do something that was very mission-oriented, that felt very much purposeful in my life. And becoming a mother really cemented that for me. I think that changes a lot of people, becoming a parent. So I became very engaged in all things early childhood and, wanting to provide the best for children, especially in our community. So the opportunity arose for me to join Teresa, who was an excellent mentor, and she was with our organization for 22 years prior to me joining. Yeah. And so she just, I became her succession plan.
And it worked out well.
It did, yes.
It's always important to have one of those,
Absolutely,
right?
yes, absolutely.
You built a great foundation for 2 decades.
Yes,
You wanted to make
yeah.
sure it landed in the right hands.
Right.
And who better than an engineer, right?
Yeah.
And who knows that as well. Lisa Ann, we obviously are making headway, right, when it comes to making sure our little ones can read on grade level before they begin kindergarten, because we know the statistics, if they're not reading on grade level by the 3rd grade, it's much harder for them to do so. Where are we still missing the mark a little bit, or what else can you say this morning to parents, caregivers, and those in the community who just say, well, my kid reads, or I read to my kid, but it might not be on a consistent basis? So we're kind of filling the gaps for us there.
Yes, and really the foundation getting to kindergarten is like the literacy readiness piece. It's not necessarily reading on grade level, but that phonemic awareness, the social emotional skills that come with being read to, and when you're actually trying to read, problem solving, looking at pictures, directionality, all of that builds over the years, from toddlers with board books to children being in kindergarten. And so when they come into kindergarten and they don't have those skills, they're having to ramp up very quickly and gain a lot of that while getting used to being in a classroom and everything else that comes with getting ready in a school. So daily reading is really important. It's actually part of a really good, healthy bedtime routine, bath, book, bed. And it really helps children learn how to relax before bedtime too. And so anyone can read to a child, we do it in schools, but really importantly, it's showing them that it's important to take that time for yourself, that lifelong learning, that adults are doing it too. And so not only reading to your children, but reading in front of your children, other types of media is really important.
And we live in a society that is so technology driven, and, parents are working, and like we were talking about before we started, sometimes it's like, oh, well, it's educational. Let's put them in front of this television show or this screen. But reading to them actually helps with other things like communication as well, I would think. And how often should we just be doing that at bedtime? Tell us parents what we should be doing.
Bedtime, of course, as Lucianne mentioned, but also just narrating through your day. You know, just say, "Mommy's chopping up the carrots now. Mommy's stirring the pot. Mommy's putting things away, putting things up. We're going left. We're in the car. Look at the White House." You know, just narrating through the day. It takes some effort. As I'm a quiet kind of person, and I had to adjust to doing that with my first child.
That's great advice.
Well, I learned from Teresa many moons ago before we had our little bundle of joy. She said the exact same thing. So when she was a baby and we were emptying the dishwasher, I remember this clear as day. She was like in her little carrier, and I would say, "This is a fork. Watch the fork go on an adventure to the home. And this is a spoon." And I'm like, oh my gosh, if someone would see this, I would not be in this position for long in the role of a dad. It's a little goofy, a lot of fun. But to your point, we just spoke out loud everything that we do, to the point where we watch TV shows now with the subtitles on. We do it for a couple of reasons. One, when you had a screaming baby, it was the only way you can enjoy a show. But two, we got used to it because we can see and hear what they say and how they spell words sometimes, to be honest with you. So what's always deemed as like laughable, like, why do you have on the subtitles? I'm learning it's actually beneficial, and it's helped me to phrase words and how to spell words than ever before. And I'm a grown adult in a communication business. So you're never too old to pick up a good book and start reading as well. Well, to be able to accomplish what you need to do, get out into the schools, into the community, you obviously need money to do so. And as a nonprofit, I'm sure that the money truck is just dumping lots of money on your front store, right, all the time.
Yeah.
But there's a great way to get involved with the Early Learning Partnership of York County. It's through a literacy ball. Yes. And take us out to this big gathering on Saturday, May the 4th.
So since it's our 25th anniversary, of course, we had to celebrate, and I like to celebrate. So at the behest of a few of our board members, looking at you, Lisa Ann, we decided that this would be a great time to have a gala event, especially in the post-pandemic times when people are just itching to get out and socialize again.
So it's on Saturday, May the 4th from 7 to 9:30 at the Gathering Space in Rock Hill. Yes. Tickets are still available?
We have a very few available. So if you would like to attend, please reach out to us quickly.
That's a good problem to have, right?
Yes, can't complain.
Lisa Ann, whether you're an established parent, a new parent, a parent-to-be, or just a community member, what is the last piece of thing? If they've heard nothing else this morning in our interview, we know the importance of reading. We know that. But what can you tell them? What's the lasting impression you can make on them, what they can do to make sure that our kids hear a good story?
Well, it's all about relationships as well, though. And so you're building relationships when you sit down and read with a child, or whether it be your own or somebody else's. And so that community part of just showing up for children as a village is really important. And it just helping them see that lifelong learning attitude. So, you never stop reading. We never stop learning and growing. And so that's something we really want to instill early on.
And use technology as an aid, not as the main teacher, because it can be beneficial, right? But you just don't want to, when they come out into the world, say, here's an iPhone, now watch this show and we'll be good to go, right?
Right.
Establishing that pattern at night is so valuable. I mean, our kids are the same age, and still to this day, it's that same, I'm going to take a shower, I'm going to read a book before I go to bed, and it's been fantastic. We know some families, their life is all over the place, but still just 5 minutes of reading a book is better than no minutes at all, for sure.
Correct.
Well, Lisa Ann, extremely nice to meet you as president of the board for the Early Learning Partnership of York County. And Rachel, I know we had a chance the other day to meet each other officially, but welcome again into your role.
Thank you.
10 months in, seems like it's a great fit for you.
I love it.
Come on out to the 25th anniversary literacy ball that will benefit the Early Learning Partnership of York County. Saturday, May the 4th from 7 to 9:30. Some limited tickets are available, but if you ask nicely, these ladies will probably let you in and find a way to sell maybe an extra ticket here and there. But it helps out a great cause, and we really are so appreciative of the foundation that was set 25 years ago for the Early Learning Partnership of York County. So thank you so much to Sylvia Eccles and Teresa Creech and all those other ones who were part of that initial launch of this organization.